My thoughts here on the Jrue Holiday trade that happened around midnight Eastern time, recording just before 8 a.m. the following morning. Missed it last night. So, the trade itself, Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers, and the irony of all ironies, since he was shipped there originally as part of the Damian Lillard trade before being traded to the Celtics. Now, a couple of years later, being traded back to the Trailblazers. The Celtics receive 2 second-round picks in Anfernee Simons. So, on the Celtics side of things, this is pretty straightforward. They've got to get under the apron, the second apron to be specific, and this gets them closer to doing that. They save about $5 or $6 million on this deal. They're chipping away. They're getting there, and I think in some ways the Jayson Tatum injury helps them do this with their fans because they know next season is a gap year anyways. So it makes sense. And he's going to be the first domino. I look at guys like Sam Hauser and Kristaps Porzingis as likely trade candidates for the Celtics. I also think Anfernee Simons is not long for Boston. That's my opinion. I just think his skill set is duplicative of Peyton Pritchard, and I think Peyton Pritchard is cheaper and a better defender. So I think, if not this summer, I think by the trade deadline of next season, I think it's very likely that Simons is shipped somewhere else. Now, for the Trailblazers, I know a lot of people, including shout out my friend Josh, who's a big Blazers fan, are a little confused by this trade. And initially, I was too, but the more I read, I think I'm starting to come around to what GM Joe Cronin was thinking here. So, number one, Simons was an expiring contract. You are the Portland Trailblazers. You're not an attractive free agent market. So, you go get somebody who's going to be under contract for a couple more years, and that becomes, hopefully, because he is getting older, a tradable asset. If not, a salary filler, as he turns 36, 37 years old. In the interim, though, I still think Jrue Holiday is a very good player who's going to be a good defender and can help, knock down open shots and be a mentor to this young nucleus that played really well after the All-Star break and, most importantly, developed an identity, a defensive identity. And please like this video, subscribe to the channel. So I think Jrue Holiday coming in with what we know, his defensive skill set, one of the better defenders in the NBA. He replaces one of their worst defenders in Anfernee Simons, and they just continue to build this defensive identity, which I think if they're watching the playoffs. If nothing else, it's important to have an identity. The 2 teams in the finals had clear identities. They were deep teams. On the Thunder side, they had a defensive base. On the Pacers side, well, they turned out to be a very good defensive team throughout the playoffs. They were built on pace and space offensively and sharing the ball. And I think the Blazers are building their own defensive identity, kind of similar to the Rockets as well. And they're just going to be they're a team you just don't want to play next season, quite frankly, because they're just going to make it very difficult for you. So moving forward, I think it opens up the door for the Trailblazers to use this contract to go get like a star, all-star, borderline all-star kind of player in a year or two, using Holiday's contract as salary filler as he gets older. And they kind of continue this cycle of improving their roster. So that's the upside I see for the Trailblazers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Until next time, peace.